We are the hub for news, results, and CEO interviews focusing the junior commodities sector. We provide market analysis and perspective that will help position you for solid returns.
Good morning. Welcome to Stock Talk. It's great having Austin here in town in Vancouver. Welcome.
Yeah, great to be back out. The weather's been awesome. We're having a good time, so happy to be here.
We want to just put out a quick video, get some big news that's coming out from the BC's Golden Triangle. And that's a big kind of amorphous shape that's sort of a triangle, but shifts and changes depending on who you ask. But up there, we've got two big stories developing. One being, of course, Newmont sets to become a huge, not only in the Golden Triangle, but a huge mining conglomerate with a $19.5 billion deal for Newcrest.
Yeah, it opens the door for them to become the largest gold producer in the world. It's a $19.5 billion deal. It's going to increase production, enlarge their exposure, kind of enhance their corporate strategy, and allow them to merge sort of the Canadian side of things with the Australian side of things as well, and move forward with a very interesting plan and very exciting to see. You know, even though things have been kind of quiet recently on the mining front, it's nice to see that there are these other deals that are popping up around the place and things are still happening.
Yeah, especially on the back of tech being pursued by Glencore as well. That is being shot down, I think, twice now. So we see these huge mega deals that are being sought after. And that usually typically what happens in these markets is if people are looking to get back in, it's the big deals that get done. They absorb, smaller or bigger ones. It then trickles down. So we should see a lot more action as these bigger lithium deals we see coming in, whether it was Ford or GM, is that this will start trickling down to a lot of the juniors. And we really feel that, there's so much negative sentiment out there that there's a great opportunity. And we wanted to highlight that again, that just because you don't hear so much about mining, there's so much happening. And mega deals like this are great to see.
Yeah, and when you're talking about, a $19.5 billion deal as well, like the amount of money from that kind of situation that needs to trickle down to some of these smaller juniors isn't actually as crazy or astronomical as some people may think. Like a little bit of an injection of cash into the mining industry can really start to make it go.
Yeah, and one thing that's great about this is that people have made the thought that it's not necessarily even the gold. I mean, the gold, there's a huge opportunity up there with gold, but it's also the copper assets that these companies acknowledge the shortage of copper, what it's going to take for all this electrification. It's a massive amount of copper, and also where are you getting it from? So it's a huge kind of recognition that this is happening, this is moving forward, and it gives Canada great positioning. And on top of that, Skeena Resources, which is in the Golden Triangle, they just closed $64 million. It's a bought deal led by BMO Capital Markets, which also, big company, BMO Capital Markets, and that's a big deal as well.
Yeah, and it's another, right in the same region, Canadian company with, strong kind of management moving in the right direction. So it's exciting to see that continue to trickle along. Like we said, even though things are, a little bit quieter, the market's a little bit shaky and a lot of uncertainty surrounding, the debt ceiling in the U.S. The fact that these deals are still getting done and still getting over the line is encouraging for the kind of mining sector as a whole, but specifically the Canadian side of things.
And it's great for us too, because we've got a couple picks that we really like that's up in that section. Come join us to find out who they are, what they are, and what we think the year looks ahead for them. But we're very optimistic on what's to come here, despite all the negative sentiment, negative news that's out there. Perhaps we've hit a critical mass where the negative sentiment is so high that maybe there's a glimpse of hope, there's some sunlight here at the end of the tunnel, that we might be getting through the worst of this. Who knows? Well,
and I know we're going to have a video out this week where we kind of talk about that as well. You had a great interview that you did earlier this week that kind of highlights some of that thinking. And I'll just remind people as well to make sure you're signed up to the website, because we'll have our newsletter, our quarterly newsletter will be coming out in just a few weeks, where you will highlight a few of those picks as well and mention these companies that we're looking at in this same region. So make sure you're signed up to the website, make sure you're signed up to the YouTube as well, and stay locked in because we'll have a bunch of content turning out over the next month or so.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much and welcome here to Vancouver.
Yeah, really enjoying being out here. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your week.